welcome back. Let's catch up. So I did just spill my coffee down me. It's tragic times. I am in a place right now where I'm just gonna wear it. January has sucked balls. So I want to start off by saying thank you for sticking around. Thank you for being patient whilst I just live, and I thought we could have an update style studio vlog. So I feel so out of practice with filming and sitting down and talking about what I've been up to, because it's really difficult to feel as if what you've been up to is remotely interesting and worth filming when you've just been surviving on a day-to-day basis. I'll start off by saying that as we leave an old year behind, there's always this sense of starting afresh and new opportunities and a fresh new slate. At the start of December, I was very much in that mindset of, right, 2023 is going to be different, and I'm talking solely about the business here. 2022 just wasn't, it wasn't a straightforward year. I was trying to work a lot of things out in 2022. So January has not been kind. I think a lot of small businesses will agree that January is always a hard one to get through, but this year, I had a lot of optimism for 2023. At the start of like December, I was like, right, I went through the whole cycle of like, I've got new plans, new opportunities, 2023 is gonna be my year, beep, beep, beep. And then I got to the last week of December and we had just got through Christmas, which I say get through Christmas because I actually find Christmas to be very overwhelming and overstimulating, and I was just, you know, by the end of it, you're like, just leave me in a dark corner to just rock back and forwards a little bit, thank you, kindly. And then a couple of days after Christmas, it's my son's birthday, so he turned 1 in that week between Christmas and New Year. So again, that was a lot of full on, lots of people around. It was very like, oh, it was a lot. And then as we sort of came to New Year, I was like, I'm not feeling great. I'm not feeling positive, so I'll tell you why. And what happened was, the first real kicker for us was the first week into January. My son had his 1-year vaccinations, and he didn't have like a terrible reaction or anything like that, but he turned into a zombie, and he was just like this little koala bear that wanted to cling to my chest the entire time. That week was one of the hardest that I've ever pulled throughout motherhood so far. It included 2 all-nighters, which even in his newborn days, there was never a time when I was up all night. Honestly, it was breaking my heart. Like, the toll that it took on my like emotions was just, I just wanted to take it all away for him. And his temperature was crazy, he wasn't eating or drinking, he just didn't want anything to do with anything. He just sat there in his chair the whole time, just looking gone, like behind the eyes, and he was like that for a good week. I know compared to some people that's like getting off lightly, and that some children have a really like terrible reaction to these things, so like I'm grateful that we didn't have that. But oh my goodness, that week was intense. And the reason it was also so challenging was I went and caught the flu as well, and I don't even know how I lifted my head off the pillow some days. I was just like, and then obviously I didn't want him to get the flu on top of everything else. So, and then I can't remember the exact day that this happened, but Royal Mail had a cyber attack, which I'm sure you're sick of hearing about by now. I sure as hell am. Luckily yesterday, and just in case you didn't know, they've turned it back on now, so you should be able to, as of the 26th of January, you should be able to ship your parcels internationally again from the UK. But when that happened, I was very much like, oh, this will be resolved in like, you know, 3 or 4 days tops. And it just wasn't. It went on for a couple of weeks. And I was toying with even sharing this because it seems, you know, it's uncomfortable talking about money and that kind of thing. But the last few months have been really, really tough. Like, so emotionally draining, as well as just like a sledgehammer to the business almost. So I knew there was an option to go through a different courier and like just tot up all of their prices and see what their parcel sizes were. But back to the matter is, Royal Mail are the most efficient, they're the most cost effective. They also do like smaller parcels or flat letters, and what do you call them, large letters that we do, whereas other couriers don't always do that, and then you end up charging for a parcel and there's no need to charge for a parcel, and then you're putting customers off by the postage prices being too high. So I decided to just turn international shipping off. I was like, I can't see this being a long-term thing. I can't see them forever shutting down posting internationally. So what I'll do is I'll just turn my international shipping off and just take the hit. It's been hard. It's been really frustrating, and like my business has taken a massive wallop because of it. But I actually turned my Etsy off because I just reached a point with Etsy in particular where I was like, I can't deal with these people anymore. So since like November sort of time, and I tried to do everything that Royal Mail advised. So I was like, right, I'll stop shipping parcels by this date. I also brought it back an extra couple of days because I was like, they're always a little bit, you know, at this time of year everything gets swamped, and I was like, I don't want to risk parcels not turning up. So I made my cut-off days like a couple of days before the advised days. Things still weren't turning up, and despite the fact I was shipping everything the next day or the same day, 2 days tops, I was getting everything out of the door into a post box, and people were saying to me that I'd not shipped parcels. People then get really quite nasty and accuse you of not shipping the parcels. I've been accused of scamming people. So I turned Etsy off for like a week just to kind of rebalance a little bit and just find my bearings, compose myself. And then what I decided to do was, because people on Etsy, it was never on my own website, and I think evidence strongly suggests that it's because people who go to my own website are either following on some form of social media, but like the contrast in the two, like people often on my own website will leave cute little notes at the checkout, they'll wish everybody well, they'll say happy Christmas, they'll even send a virtual squeeze for the dogs. Sometimes people even say, can we leave a tip for the dogs to get some treats for the dogs? And I don't know what I've done to deserve that level of kindness. That level of kindness is like always so appreciated. But on Etsy, things were getting a little bit barbaric, and I was like, I can't do this. So I changed my shipping on Etsy. So I turned my Etsy shop back on, but I've made it so that tracked shipping is compulsory. So you will pay more for shipping on Etsy, but it means it's all tracked. I've never had a problem so far on my own website. I think everybody is just much more understanding and just supportive in general. It doesn't go unnoticed, and do you know what as well, like it started to give me anxiety. There's been a few moments, I'm not gonna lie, there's been moments where I've been like, I need to take a step back, something's got to give, otherwise I'm going to pack it all in. I just felt like I was fighting so hard to maintain this. I felt like, and the thing is, it's just me behind the business, it's nobody else. I don't have a team behind me, I don't have a helper, I don't have anything like that, it's just me. So I was coming to my computer to try and get some new designs done or get some video editing done. This is why there's been no videos. Wanted to get some Patreon stuff done, and what I was being confronted with was more emails from people that I then had to sit and reply to. And because my time that I'm not with my son is very limited, like my work hours are significantly decreased, like compared to what they used to be before I had my son. That in itself is taking an adjustment. So I've had to kind of strip my business back to a place where I can manage it a bit better. And even then, it's like, okay, something has got to give. Something big had to give. So that's why January you have not seen me. Because as much as I wanted to film videos and be present and be creating, I just couldn't. So I tried to take a step back. I tried to spend more time on my iPad and just draw for fun and experiment a bit. I tried to play more games on the Switch. I downloaded like 2 more games in the January sale, and I tried to take a really slow approach to January. I want to get back in my sketchbooks, I want to get back into more digital drawing and develop my style a bit more and push myself a bit more and work towards things. And I think that's okay. If we're working towards things, we don't always have to be achieving something, which is something I think that a lot of us, like, we fall into that trap of feeling like we need something to show, we need something to prove that we are that we're a business and that that we're artists, that we're a business, that we're thriving, and sometimes I just need to be content with the fact that I get to do this for another day. And that's all that matters. It doesn't matter that things are really slow right now. It doesn't matter that things have taken a massive hit. Like, we're going to recover from it, and that's what matters most. So that is what I'm trying to focus on, just the fact that I get to do this for another day. Okay, so I've just made the backing cards for earrings. This is what they look like. I'm really happy with these. But I've also had an idea, and one of the ideas came from one of my patrons as well, so very much appreciated. So I've actually ordered some different kind of clasps so that they can be used as little charms, either like planner charms or phone charms. They are on the way. And something else I did yesterday actually that I've not told you about yet is I've ordered the fabric for like spring, I guess. One of them's floral, one of them's foxy. That's all I'm going to tell you for now. So my trusty little Phomemo printer, I've actually, you'll have just seen a clip of me changing the labels, and these are still the labels that I got when I got gifted this printer. It's such a great little performer. I love it so much. I love the colour, I love how compact it is, and they even sent me the holder, and I was using the one where it was a roll on here so that when the labels were coming off they just went ooh, and now I've got a stack of labels to use, which Phomemo also sells, so I like that you can choose between the two. So whether you're more of a roll kind of person or a stack, so when they come off it's kind of like a concertina effect almost. But I think, might be controversial, let me know what you guys all think, but I think I prefer the roll. So when these all run out I'll go back to the roll. But yeah, if you'd like to get yourself a little Phomemo printer, this was gifted to me, but I love it and I don't recommend things unless I actually love it too. So I'll leave a link down below, and you can have a little investigate. They do come in different colours as well, but this one served me well so far and I absolutely adore it. So now it's time to sit and pack my patron happy mail for January. So I have coffee, I have supplies, and I thought I would just chat to you all about my plans for like a spring sort of collection, I suppose. So I have some ribbons here because what I really want to focus on with fabrics is dice bags and bags for things like runes, little witchy bags, little bags for little trinket bags. So let's put the charms to one side. I do have some zips because zipped pouches are going to continue. I may introduce more sizes so that people can use them for, you know, a more variety of things. I personally like to use my pouches for like changing bag organisers in my son's changing bag. They work really well for that. I'll talk to you about these samples in a minute, but I have 2 new fabrics and I'm also going to bring out a third. So typically, as soon as I ordered this one, I was like, oh, I should have ordered this one too. So I'm just going to spend a bit more time working on it and then I'll be able to show you what I've been up to. But this one is the Wildflowers like ditzy print that was part of a washi tape design last summer. So this is it as a washi tape. It's one of my favourites. It came out really, really pretty. And because I love all of these colours on the dark background, I wanted to see it as a fabric. So I thought this would make a really cute pouch and a drawstring bag for like dice and runes and stuff like that. This fabric, oh my goodness, it sings to me so much. And I got this lining for it with like a really rusty coloured zip to kind of bring out the foxes. This design actually has come from a new sticker, which my patrons will know all about. But yeah, that's the fox one. And then for the ditzy flowers, I thought purple to bring out all of these little pink and purple details with the nice purple lilac-y coloured zip too. These samples are 3 different kinds of fabric, so it's the same print on each one. However, I am going to try and whip together some tea towels. So tea towels are typically screen printed, but I've always looked into that and it's either not been cost effective enough for me at the moment, or I've just not felt that there's enough creative freedom with screen printing, because I've always wanted to do like more full colour designs, which is why it's never been the cost effective option for me, because obviously the more colours you have within a screen print, the more expensive it's going to be. So I got some different fabrics to test out, put through the washing machine, use it as like a cloth in my kitchen, just test it out as a tea towel. So these were recommended to me by my manufacturer for tea towel use, so I just got 3 to try them out. I think this middle one is actually my favourite because it's lovely and thick, it's really smooth and soft as well, and it's just got a really lovely texture to it. Like, can you see that grain? It's just really, really pretty. And then you've seen the earrings, which I'm really happy with, but I went away and I thought about turning them into little charms. This one was actually a suggestion for one of my patrons, and also little phone charms as well. So these ones could be used for like planners and stuff. You could clip them onto bookmarks or clip them onto your little planners, like your ring binders and things. So there's a little foxy one there and a little mushroom one there, and then I have all of these new stickers. So these ones were for my patrons. I do have a few left over, just need to finish packing my patron mail. I have some new mushrooms as well. Everything's just really moody and I'm loving it. This design is like an older one from, was it last year or the year before, but because I could add another design into my order quantity, I just thought I'd get an oldie but goldie in there. So this one is one of my favourites. Doesn't really go with the colour palette that we're going for at the moment, but I don't really mind. And then this is the fox one, so this is where the original like fox illustration came from, that's now fabric, and then the charms as well. These are all going to be turned into prints too, but these stickers are enormous. They're like 10cm ones. And then I have this design, which a few of you have already asked if this one is also going to be turned into a print, and the answer is yes as well. So this one was kind of like my tribute to Veganuary. And yeah, those are the things that I have been working on so far this year. Would you like to see something really cool? I have been working on my own Procreate brushes. So this set is actually going to be like a vines and foliage set. They can also be used as like little stamps too. I've wanted to do this for ages, and I finally got round to it, and I'm having such a fun time just learning all about making my own brushes. Hoping to have them available really soon. I want to add a few more to this pack first, but I just love how this grungy one looks. I'm hoping to do like textures as well, do like some sketchy type brushes, but for now I really wanted to do these, and just so relaxing to make and play about with. But yeah, I hope you like them. These will be in my shop soon. I love it.